she's literally upset because wait a minute, wait. You telling me my daughter passed away like hours ago and y'all just telling me that my daughter is dead? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I got another story time and this is off the show Fatal Attractions. It's about a girl, her name is Kim, and Kim was a pretty young 18-year-old girl. They said that she was very kind-hearted. She was one of the sweetest people you could ever meet. And Kim also had a boyfriend. His name was Jake. And they said Kim loved her some Jake, like she loved the ground Jake walked on. Jake and Kim was high school sweethearts, and from their knowledge, Jake loved him some Kim also. So basically, their relationship was wonderful, and everybody loved Jake. So one night, a phone call was made to the police. It was a neighbor saying that she heard gunshots. And once the police got there, they found out that the girl was Kim. So Kim had been shot in the arm and she was laying in the grass. So once the police asked Kim what happened to her, Kim did not like say anything. Like she was just moaning like she was really hurt. And of course, Kim had been shot. Well, her friend Tasha was sitting beside her. So they asked Tasha what happened. And Tasha stated she didn't know because Kim called her, told her where she was at, and she came and Kim was shot. So basically, the police put Tasha in a police car and put Kim in the ambulance and rushed her to the hospital. Meanwhile, taking Tasha down to the police station, but there was police officers still on duty, and police was asking neighbors and everything. They seen a guy walking down the street, so they pulled him to the side and asked him, "Did he know what happened? And did he know Kim?" And he stated, "Yeah, he know Kim," and asked what happened. Well, they didn't give him a chance to like even say anything else. They just put him in the police car. So at this time, they have Kim going to the hospital. They have her friend Tasha going to the police station, and they also have the other guy in the police car. So now they're asking neighbors and everything, have they heard anything, especially the person who called and said they heard gunshots. And everybody stated they didn't know what happened. They heard the gunshots and that's it. Well, another guy says if you want to know who was shooting, check at that house right there, which was the house beside where Kim and her friend was at. So they went and knocked on the door, asked could they come in, and two girls came to the door and was like, "No, do y'all have a search warrant? No, y'all can't come in." So by that time, the police had to call to get a actual search warrant. So meanwhile, in between times, they still asking people, and they realized a neighbor had like one of them ring doorbell ringers, the ring doorbells or whatever. So they asked, can they see video? So once they seen video, they seen that three people was carrying, I mean, it was three people out there and they was carrying Kim out. And so now they're really questioning what happened. So at this time, they go to the police station. But meanwhile, going to the police station, they receive a call from the hospital saying that Kim has now passed away. So they didn't want to tell anybody. They didn't tell her mother. They didn't tell anybody because they felt like it would tamper with the case. So they got down to the police station, not telling her friend Tasha like that she was deceased. And they asked Tasha what happened, and still Tasha held her ground and said, "I don't know. Kim called me and I just came and she was shot." So they wind up letting her friend go, and at this time they are investigating. So now they got the warrant to search the house where the two girls were at, and they searched and everything, and they was asking the girls questions, and the girls still stated they didn't know, like, and the police stated like we seen people bringing her out, like how you don't know what happened. So the girls kept their story also. So now they bring Tasha mother, I mean, hold on, now they bring Kim's mother in and tell Kim mother that she has passed away, and Kim mother flips out. She's crying and she's literally upset because wait a minute, wait. You telling me my daughter passed away like hours ago, and y'all just telling me that my daughter is dead? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But then she kind of, gained her composure because the police told her they didn't want to tell anybody until they keep investigating, because they felt like it would tamper with the investigation. So now Kim mother is like, I knew it, I just knew it. And she's pacing back and forth like, I knew he would do this. So the police like, who? You knew who would do what? So she goes, Jake, I knew he would do something like this to Kim. And they goes, why? And she was like, because he was abusive. Like, he had anger issues, and Kim would always like excuse his issues with, like, like he had these problems, like he was raised different, yada yada yada. So she was like, I just knew something would happen. So they was like, elaborate, because we're trying to figure out who did this. So she goes, well, he was the sweetest boy. Everybody in the family loved him. Everybody in our family loved him, until one day a neighbor knocked on the door and said, your daughter is being beat up by a guy. So she said when she got on her stuffing and got went, a couple of blocks around the corner, like, he was jumping on her daughter, and she was like, wait, what the fuck are you doing? And like, Kim was giving excuses, and she was begging her mother not to do anything. So she was like, you know what, he can't come around my house anymore, he can't come around, so don't bring him around. So Kim was like, okay, mom. So she was like, after she said that, she didn't see Kim for like a couple of weeks or whatever. And so one day she was like, Kim and him was at the house when she got home, and she looked and something didn't seem right. Jake looked at mad, and Kim looked at like lost, scared, and like she was just scared. So she was like, why you got a scully on? Like, it's no need for one. Like, why? Take it off. So she says Kim removed the scully, and she looked, and Kim was all beat up. Like, she had knot on her head, like she been through some stuff. And so she was like, look, don't put your fucking hands on my daughter ever again. Keep your hands off my daughter, or we gonna call the police. And he says, huh, she ain't gonna press charges, she ain't gonna do nothing. She love me, she not gonna press charges, you wasting your time. So she was like, get out my house, don't ever come back over here. Like, Kim, he can't come back over here. So she said after she said that, she didn't see Kim for like 3 weeks, y'all. Literally 3 weeks she stayed away from her mother. Now you know. So she stayed away from her mother for 3 weeks. Then all of a sudden Kim calls her mother out of the blue and go, Mom, he hit me with a 2x4. Like, I'm tired, I'm hurt, like, I'm tired of this. So she was like, baby, come home. Like, you know you can come home. Come home. I never told you to stay away. I told him. So Kim gets back home. They call the police. Kim pressed charges. Now, at this time, they put a restraining order out on him, so Jake and Kim cannot come anywhere near each other. So now everything is going good. Kim's back to her old self. She's at home. She feels safe. And then all of a sudden, like, Jake reached out to Kim, and Kim asked Kim to come over to his sister's house. So basically, he talks her in to meeting up with him. So Kim calls her friend Tasha and say, girl, come with me, like, to see Jake. Like, I don't want to go by myself. And so Tasha agrees, and they both go over to Jake's house. Now, Jake has his homeboy with him, Mark, and like they all chilling or whatever. And it's Jake's two sisters there also, but they are like in another room. So Mark, Jake, Tasha, and Kim all chilling, and then all of a sudden Jake pulls out a gun that he got from one of his homeboys and empty the clip, and he points it at Kim. So they say. So now, after the mother states all the other stuff about the abuse and stuff, the police call Tasha again down for questioning, and they tell Tasha that Kim is now deceased or whatever. So now Tasha want to tell everything. So Tasha's story is they was all chilling, just like I said. And basically he points the gun at Kim and he said, "I'll shoot you." And Kim was like, "That's not funny." And everybody else was like, "Bro, that's not funny. Like, put the gun up." And so next thing you know, the gun goes off, shooting Kim in the arm. And everybody like shocked, like shocked and looking around, and then they start screaming. Well, come to find out, Tasha said that Jake accidentally shot Kim. So now the sisters are coming out the room like, "What the hell y'all doing? Like, what happened?" So they see Kim like by the bottom of the steps bleeding. They was like, "Oh, y'all got to get her out of here." So they lift her up and take her outside and put her in the neighbor's yard. And then all of a sudden the sister said, "Jake, you gotta go because you already been in trouble. You know, you gotta go. Like, y'all got a restraining, like they got a restraining order on you." Jake and Mark about to take off, and Jake tried to throw Mark the gun. I would have been like, "Don't throw me that motherfucking gun. Do not throw that fucking gun over here." But he trying to throw Mark the gun, and Mark like, "Nah, bro, I don't want no dealings." So him, Mark and Jake runs off. Kim and Tasha is in the yard and the sister's in the house. So yes, of course, neighbors called the police, and Tasha is like sitting there with her friend, and she states that it was all an accident. Like, I really believe he didn't mean to shoot her. Like, it was all an accident. So at this time, Tasha is still upset and hurt that her friend is deceased. And like, she wish she can just turn back the hands of time. So by this time, the Jake was on the run and the police was looking for him. But they realized Jake had another court date in some other town or whatever. So that was their time right there, because obviously he wasn't trying to turn himself in. So basically, he finally got arrested. They questioned him. The homeboy Mark questioned it. All everything just added up. Even after they questioned Jake, homeboy Mark. So now everybody knows that it's an accident, and now Jake goes to trial, and Jake wound up getting like 3 to 6 years because it was an accident. But everybody else that helped him cover up, like get her out of the house and clean up and everything, all of them got off. Only Jake, the one who got time, but it was considered a accident. So it was like manslaughter or something. But yes, you guys, that story was so sad. So you guys, I hope that you like this story time, and this was all Fatal Attractions, you guys. And I see you guys love For My Man, so I'm gonna try to get more story times with the show For My Man. But in the meantime, in between times, we got other story times. No, just playing. But you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe and join the family over here, because we got the stories over here. And yes, peace.